When God is silent, it's not proof that He has abandoned you. It's evidence that He is preparing something so weighty, so sacred, so divinely orchestrated that you couldn't bear it if He revealed it too soon. You've been there, kneeling, crying, begging for direction, yet heaven remains quiet. You start to question, did I sin? Did I miss something? Is God still listening? But what you don't realize is that in the silence, there are secret things being formed in the unseen realm. You're not being ignored, you're being hidden. Hidden from the eyes of those who would sabotage the work. Hidden from the snares of the enemy who has laid traps along your path because he knows what you're about to carry. When you can't hear God, it's not because He's absent. It's because He's constructing something behind the curtain, like a potter silently, shaping his most precious vessel. He's still there, but His silence is strategic. There's a fire in your spirit that won't let you walk away, even though your soul is exhausted. You haven't quit because deep down, you know there's more. There's a divine assignment attached to your name, and the warfare in the silence is the evidence that heaven has declared your future significant. You don't need confirmation from people when the Spirit of God has already placed a mark on your destiny. There are seasons where God purposely withholds His voice so you learn to walk by faith and not by emotional affirmation. He fed you in the past with immediate answers and signs, but now He's leading you into a deeper wilderness where your only compass is trust. This silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. The fire you feel isn't hell, it's refinement. God is stretching your capacity, and that pain you feel is your spirit growing. Job didn't understand the silence, yet all of heaven and hell watched as he remained faithful. He tore his clothes, he mourned, but he didn't curse God. In Job 42:10, after the silence, after the pain, God restored everything double. That's not coincidence, that's covenant. When God is silent, He's refining the motives of your heart. He's not ignoring your prayers, He's revealing what's inside you when the comfort is removed. Are you seeking His face or just His hand? Do you want the blesser or just the blessing? You're in a war that most people around you can't see. They see your smile, but not the battles behind your eyes. You're holding on to promises that haven't materialized, crying out for direction that seems to be denied. But that ache, that hunger, is a sign that you're called to something deeper. Romans 8:28 doesn't say all things are good. It says all things work together for good. Maybe God is silent because He's detaching you from the noise. When you pray and hear nothing, He's stripping away your reliance on feelings. He's drawing you to Himself, so you don't serve Him for what He gives, but for who He is. When He stops responding the way He used to, it's not because He's far away. It's because He wants to be your everything. Your foundation must be Him. Not applause, not outcomes, not even answered prayers. Just Him. The silence of God is also a test to see whether you still believe when there's no echo. In Matthew 15:22-28, the Canaanite woman begged Jesus to heal her daughter, but He answered her not a word. Silence. Yet she kept pressing, pushing, pleading, and when He finally responded, He didn't say what she wanted to hear. Still, she didn't back away. Her desperation unlocked a miracle, and Jesus said, "Woman, great is your faith." And her daughter was healed that very hour. If God is silent, maybe He's leaning in. Maybe He wants to see if you'll trust Him even when the heavens are closed. Psalm 56:8 says He keeps your tears in a bottle. He's recording every silent sob, every unanswered prayer, every restless night. Nothing is lost. He's the God of details, and even your silence is sacred to Him. There are revelations God only shares in silence. When you're removed from the crowd, that's when He whispers the secrets of the kingdom. There are mysteries not declared from pulpits, but carved into your soul during the quietest hours. Moses spent 40 years in the desert before the burning bush spoke. David hid in caves long before he wore a crown. Elijah heard God not in the earthquake, wind, or fire, but in a still small voice. 1 Kings 19:12. God speaks most powerfully in stillness. When He hides you, it's not rejection, it's reservation, reserved for the right time, the right battle, the right glory. There are assignments you are being preserved for. You're not waiting, you're being concealed. And when He unveils you, every moment of silence will make sense. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. You are in the furnace, not to be destroyed, but to be purified. Malachi 3:3 says, God sits as a refiner of silver. You think the fire is punishment, but it's evidence of preparation. You're being forged for something weighty. If you weren't chosen, the enemy wouldn't be targeting you like this. Ordinary people don't go through extraordinary warfare. The ones who carry the oil are the ones who endure the crushing. You feel alone because you've been set apart. You've been crying out, why can't I be normal? But God never called you to be normal. He called you to be anointed, and the anointing costs everything. When the silence breaks, it won't be a whisper, it'll be a roar. Isaiah 64:4 says, Since ancient times no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you, who acts on behalf of those who wait for Him. You are not just waiting, you're being developed. When the time comes, what God speaks will shift the atmosphere around you. When He opens a door, no demon in hell can close it. And when He acts, you will understand why He was silent for so long. The silence was not delay, it was design. He wasn't ignoring you. He was igniting something eternal in you. Don't lose heart. Keep praying, even if it feels like heaven is closed. Keep moving, even if you're walking in the dark. Keep believing, because when the silence ends, your spirit will testify. He was never absent. He was working, watching, waiting, until the exact moment when revealing His plan would bring Him the most glory. So hold your head up. You're not forsaken. You're being entrusted. He only hides His greatest treasures in the darkest places. If this spoke to your spirit, if something inside of you is stirring right now, then know this. You are not here by accident. You've been marked. You've been called. And if the Spirit of God moves you, support this channel so that the message of truth can continue to reach the ones walking through.